The following video is on analyzing and identifying scatter plot correlations. So we have a couple different examples of scatter plot correlations here. If the dots are in a downward angle, as in they start at the top and end towards the bottom, we would call this a negative correlation. A negative correlation because they're going down. If all of the dots are kind of scattered, ever like a scatter plot, we say this has no correlation because the dots are kind of all over the place. This last one here, since they are all going up to the right or increasing, we would call this a positive correlation. Now, within these correlations, we ask the strength of the correlation. I'm going to write the strength in blue here. The strength of the correlation depends on how tightly packed together the dots are. So these are almost in a straight line. This would be considered a strong correlation. So this would be a negative strong correlation. Okay. I also think that this one, number 3, would be a positive strong correlation. So they have like a first name and last name. The first name is if it's positive, negative, or no correlation, and then the other one is if they are strong or weak. Since it's no correlation, it can't really be strong or weak. There just isn't any correlation. Now let's look here at these. 5 would be an extremely strong correlation because they're very tightly packed together and it's going up. So I would call this a positive strong correlation. This one here in the middle, it's kind of going down to the right, but it's also kind of going up to the right. So it's a little bit of both. This is definitely no correlation. It's kind of all over the place. Okay. In 7, they're a little more spread out. I wouldn't call this necessarily a weak correlation. It's definitely a positive correlation, but we could also call this, just for the sake of the video, a positive weak correlation because the dots are a little more spread out. I could understand if you also would put positive strong correlation. Let me show an example of what a weak correlation would look like. If you had a number of dots that were increasing but were spread apart, this would be considered a positive weak correlation. So when you're identifying your scatter plots, make sure you're using both a positive, negative, or no correlation, and if it's a strong or weak correlation.